Hi, my name is Clemensus. I'm sort of a nobody who thought it would be funny to do a 10-year-old trend that involves famous people, which I'm not, revealing a bit more about their life. So let's get going. The name Clemens in Latin means merciful or gentle, which I am, when I'm not violent, strict, or with a god complex. But I love the nickname Clem or Clementine. I was born in the year 2000. By that time, I was already a third child in my family, with one more to appear after me. I started walking, talking, and doing pretty much anything last out of all three of my siblings. But when I did it, I rarely fumbled my words or fell down. So you could say I always waited for the right moment and then went for it. Or maybe I'm just late. For a long time, I just explored the world and played about without any memory of it, except for the part where I broke my chin. Ouch. But at the age of 4, my parents noticed that I was always very thirsty and would drink jugs and jugs of water. I got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, which was the worst thing ever for my parents. Yeah, it wasn't fun for me with all the needles and being unable to eat all the good snacks either. But my parents, especially my mom, had an infinite amount of stress because of me and my homie diabetes. But we kinda learned to live with it and moved on. I was mostly a homegrown kid who just hung out with friends, scraped all of my body parts, and became better and better at climbing trees, which I still weirdly love to do. But everything came to an end when my mom put me into a kindergarten 3 months before I started my first grade. Here, I found my love for drawing, fainted for the first time, and met people who were my friends for most of my life. Yeah, man, these facts are madly interesting. Yes, they are! Because when I started first grade, I also started going to art school. I still wonder if I actually chose to be an artist or if I was pushed into this miserable life. Like, maybe if my parents pushed me more into sports, I would be living in ignorance and have some pure happiness. Just look at me. Does it look like I was ever happy? Yep. Underneath that face, I was a happy boy who would live in his own world. I still remember shooting imaginary enemies with my school friends when my mom would pick us up and creating a fake band so we could lip sync to all the lyrics. You could say that I had a very imaginative mind, but that did not mean that I was just this weird kid who constantly sat in the corner, lost in his world, like in some movies. I was quite a sociable weirdo. Never the bully, but not really the bullied either. Just a mid little guy who liked to draw and dance. So the years passed, I got better at my craft. I would go into dancing and painting competitions once in a while, and everything was quite stable. Until puberty hit me like a truck, or like a car that hit me for real when I was in second grade. I was 12, and that's when it started. My love for cinema, I started watching more and more films. Also, started smoking and drinking and messing around with girls, and nothing was the same ever since. Honestly, I still don't understand how some insane people sold me and my friends cigarettes when I looked like this. But yeah, everything just went nuts, and I slowly realized that I won't be able to escape my destiny of becoming some sort of an artist. Even though I was really good at science and I could have been an engineer or mathematician right now. You know, Lego boy stuff. While I was still trying different arts like design, drawing, and dipping my toes into architecture, nothing got my attention as much as movies. So, in 2016, I started trying to craft my first tries at making short films. And they were horrible. But that's alright, because people liked them. So, I kept on making stuff on and off for some years till I got into university to study archaeology, which was awesome. But I felt that my calling is to be a filmmaker. So, just before deciding to drop out, I made 2 short films, which were pretty damn successful, and that finally cemented everything. I will make films whether I live or die, and that has been my purpose ever since. But you could say it was my fate, because when I was a baby, my mom heard about a production of a foreign film in Lithuania called Attila. and the casting needed a baby for one scene. So I made that bread.